This program is dedicated to the men and women of the United States Armed Forces, past, present, and future.
I'm Keith Warren. I'm a hunter, a fisherman,
I'm throwing a big old bait because I'm looking for big old fish.
a conservationist,
Oh, come on.
a family man, and I'm proud to be a deer farmer. I'm taking a road trip, and we're going behind the scenes of today's most innovative deer farmers and wildlife management operations in North America. This is Deer and Wildlife Stories. Looks like this is the place. For the last 2 months, all I've been hearing amongst deer farmers is, have you seen Rampage? Have you seen Rampage? Well, we are just south of Tulsa, Oklahoma at Shelton Whitetails. This is where Rampage lives. And we're gonna find out if he's all everybody's made him out to be.
Howdy, howdy.
I'm Keith Warren.
Howdy, Keith. You doing all right?
Good to meet you.
This is my son, Dustin.
Hey, Dustin. Nice to meet you.
He's a big part of the deal around here.
Okay, well, I've been hearing for the past 2 months, driving around the country and visiting all the deer farms about Rampage.
Well, he's doing really good, and we're excited about him, but there's a little story behind him this year, so you'll just have to come in and see what's going on with him.
Okay, take me inside.
All right.
Let's see. Ooh, it feels good in here. What deer is that one right there?
That one on the right's Rampage when he was 2.
Really? Wow. And that's a 2-year-old?
Yeah,
My gosh. Okay, and how old is he now?
he's 4.
Is he bigger than this?
Slightly.
Slightly, huh?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I kind of have a feeling that slightly is kind of probably a whole lot bigger than slightly, but that's an incredible deer. What about this one right here?
This is another one of our breeder bucks we call Enhance. He's a 3-year-old right there.
All right, but we're here to find out about this bad boy right here. So you were mentioning that there was something going on with him. What's that?
Yeah, I'll have to show you some video of him before you know what I'm talking about.
Okay. Wow. Holy smokes. Look at that.
We're real pleased with him this year.
His antlers are so long, he's bumping the main beams on the
Yeah.
ground.
Yeah, we've not had anything like this before. I mean, we've not had a buck have beams this long before.
Look at that. That's unbelievable. It's hard to imagine the deer could get beams that long. And it's hard for him to eat. Look at that, they're hitting the
Yeah.
ground.
Yeah, that's why we have to leave the grass up a little bit taller in there just so he can eat.
Hold on, punch pause. What I want to do, one thing we've been doing on our show is we've been taking a deer, and we'll do it on this one, Rampage, right there on the wall. Take a look at Rampage and get on my Facebook page and tell me the person who gets closest to the score of Rampage right there at 2 years old. We'll send you something pretty cool, but right now take me out to the pens. I want to see that bad boy, okay? I mean, he's okay, right?
Yeah, he's okay.
Okay, well, I know there's something going on. Y'all need to take me out of the pens. All right, Dustin, come on.
You'll just have to see for yourself.
Okay. All right, Dustin, thank you. All right, if you're wondering where Shelton Whitetails is located, we are just south of Tulsa. How far?
We're probably about 15 miles south of Tulsa.
Okay, all right. The home of Rampage. All right, guys, take me to show me Rampage.
Deer and Wildlife Stories is brought to you in part by the American Deer and Wildlife Alliance, Deer Guardian Misting Systems, Four Canyons Ranch, Hoff Power Polaris, Record Rack, and LE Fence Company.
here. Bottle raised babies, get out, get out. I gotta see these. All right. Looky here. Bottle raised babies. You got any out of Rampage?
Yeah, about half of them are.
Really? How old are they?
They were born mid-May, so they're about 3 months.
Close to being weaned. They could probably really and truly be weaned. Come here now. Dustin, do you bottle feed them?
No, that's my sister's job.
If it weren't for the girls, they may not get bottle fed.
I've been around a lot of deer farms and girls do a whole lot better job bottle raising than boys do, that's
Yeah.
for sure. So Dustin, what do you do around here?
Well, I take care of the place a lot of all the mowing and upkeep, and I do all the feeding around here. Got to make them bucks grow big.
Where's Rampage?
Oh, he's in a special pen over there by himself.
Let's go. So is this where Rampage is?
No, this is my yearling pen right here.
Wow. Look at here. These deer are so clean and typical, they've got to be out of Enhance, right?
You know, believe it or not, most of these big typicals are out of Rampage.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, that's really kind of surprised us when we saw them growing and saw the wide frames on them and stuff. We went and checked the tags. We were thinking they were out of Enhance, but most of the big frame deer in here are out of Rampage.
Now, what would you attribute that to?
I would say it's his doe side, his mother on the bottom side. She's a typical line, and I think he's throwing from her side.
Well, if you take a look at the pedigree on Rampage, I mean, it's one of those kind of deals that you just look at it, you know he's going to be a big deer.
Right. Yeah, he's bred to be big.
And so if you match that up with a female that's got an equally strong pedigree, it's, you know, you're taking the risk out of it there. I mean, you are
Right.
minimizing all risk and you're getting good deer like that.
Right. Yep.
Now you DNA everything, right?
Yes, sir.
So if somebody's going to buy a deer from you, you're going to guarantee it
Yes,
is
sir.
who you say it is.
It'll be DNA'd before they ever take it. I'll have papers on them.
How important do you think that DNA is?
I think it's very important because I think there's a lot of people that sometimes it's an honest mistake. They think they're selling a specific deer to somebody, but you may have 2 or 3 does falling at the same time when you go out there and think you got it figured out. And I've had them DNA'd before and it wasn't like I thought it was. So I think it's really important. I wouldn't buy anything without DNA. I would not buy a doe or a buck, nothing. No deer will I buy that won't DNA.
You were telling me though that you haven't been really deer farming for that long, but you got into it as a hobby, didn't you?
Right. I first started off with just this pen right here. I just had probably a 200 by 200 acre pen and 6 does and 1 buck. Was just raising them for fun. Started learning more about genetics and how to line breed deer and make your deer produce better. And then I found out that you can actually make some money doing this, so that was even more intriguing to me.
I'll bet you money you're a deer hunter, aren't you?
Yes, sir.
I mean, isn't it funny how deer
Yep.
hunters become deer farmers?
Yep, I liked them so much. I wanted to raise them. I found out sometimes I get off work, I'm tired and aggravated, and I can come out here and sometimes I'll spend 2 or 3 hours out here before I know it.
It's unbelievable that a big deer like Rampage is throwing typical frame deer like that. I mean, I am amazed.
You know, I figured he would throw big deer, but I thought they would all have a lot of trash on them is what I thought.
Okay, so these are the 1-year-olds. I know you're kind of building it up, but where's Rampage? Okay, show me some 2 and 3-year-olds. Where's your pen of those?
I've got my 2-year-old and 3-year-olds over here.
Oh, they're right here.
Yeah.
Okay. Whoa, look at that. So, were all these deer born on the farm?
Yeah, we've raised them all. All these bucks were born on our farm. We'll buy does and bring does in to breed to our bucks, and we'll AI. We started AIing about 6 years ago. We'll AI with bucks to get different genetics, but all the deer that were here were born on our farm.
Okay, all right. And again, they're nice, typical bucks.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, we like to keep them. We like big frames, you know, so we want to raise something that's got some good frame on them, and you know, sometimes they'll get some extras on them, but most people enjoy having a deer with a good frame on them.
There's several in there with big frames on them. Folks, I'm from Texas. And Texas, unfortunately, has closed borders on white-tailed deer, which I think is really a shame.
I do too.
Oklahoma is blessed with the deer fall underneath the ag department, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
And so y'all can move deer back and forth across borders with other states. Now they have to be tested for disease and
Right.
all, but y'all are able to bring deer in and export deer. So
Right.
if somebody wanted, somebody in Iowa or Illinois or whatever wanted to buy some of these deer, you could certainly fulfill that
Right.
order, huh?
As long as you have a monitored herd, 5 years or more, TB, brucellosis, and CWD, you can transport just about anywhere.
Well, the deer are plenty gentle. Why are they gentle? Because you're out here with them all the time?
Yeah, I got to spend a lot of time with them. I mean, working with them makes them calm to where you can handle them better. And it's just maintenance and a lot of normal stuff that you would do with other animals, you do the same here. You got to mow their pens, keep them neat. If, you know, sometimes you might have to work on the fence a little bit. And, you know, on bad occasions, if a limb falls on the fence, that's usually more difficult.
Break out the
stuff.
chainsaws then.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's just a hobby. I mean, as more as a business, it's pretty enjoyable just being out here with them.
These are beautiful 2 and 3 year olds, but I gotta see Rampage, so. All right.
Well, come on, you've been saying it all day. Let's go see him. He's right over here.
What do you think he scores now?
Well, to tell you the truth, I don't think it's going to be too hard to score him.
What's that supposed to mean?
I believe you could probably score him in a couple of minutes.
Okay.
Deer and Wildlife Stories is brought to you in part by the North American Deer Farmers Association, DNA Solutions, and the North American Deer Registry, New Dart, Shock Effect, and Sage Capital Bank.
All right, do I hear a drum roll? Where is he?
He's over there under that shade tree.
That's Rampage?
That's him.
Are you kidding me?
Well, that's the other part of the story right there.
Well, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
I told you he wouldn't be hard to score. Well,
I mean, what happened to him? What happened?
well, we videoed him a while back. You know, you saw that in there.
Yeah.
And then he got so big he couldn't keep his head off the ground. His beams got out there to where he's having trouble eating, and you know, I thought, well, he'll be okay. He may bring him up, you know, a little bit, but he just spent all day long with his head on the ground. You know, he couldn't hold his head up.
Well, he's doing good now. Look at him.
He's doing a lot better now. We cut his horns off, and he was losing so much weight and everything. We just didn't feel like it was worth stress than the deer worrying about him gaining a few more inches, you know. So.
Well, he's completely hard antlered too.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, so you tell me you've got the antlers here.
We've got him up at the house.
Okay, and you've got more footage of him before you cut him off.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we've got to see that, and we've got to show the folks at home. All right, Dustin, was he really that big?
I'll have to let you see that for yourself.
Okay, look at him though. He's feeling a lot better.
Yeah.
You can tell.
You wouldn't think that he had any trouble now. I mean, he's lost some weight, you know, but that's what we were concerned with is he was losing weight and it was hot, and he would spend 20 minutes at a time with his head down on the ground. You know, his neck was so tired he just couldn't hold him up. So we just didn't think it was worth putting him through it.
Okay, all right, well, let's get out of here. Let's give him a chance
I
to
told
calm
you
down.
could score him in 2 minutes. What do you think he scores?
Well,
about?
he's
about 10?
No, he's got about 9.5, 10-inch bases on each side. So, I mean, he's
That's
probably
what they
about
scored.
30.
That's what they were.
He
They
may
were-
be 35 right now. Look at the size of him. Okay, we're gonna head to the house and we're gonna hunt down those antlers, and I can't wait to put them in my hands. See you, big boy. Yeah, I wouldn't have ever thought that you'd cut his antlers off, but I don't blame you for doing so.
Yeah, we got worried about him. You know,
What's this over here now? I thought, oh, that's right. In Oklahoma, y'all don't have child labor laws. What's that?
this is one part of the main operation right here.
Oh, really?
I told you earlier it wasn't me doing the bottle feeding.
Wow, look at this. Hi, girls.
Hi.
They're the ones that are doing the bottle feeding.
You didn't think I was doing all that work, did you? Well, this here's Morgan. She's my youngest girl. In the middle's Kendra. And the one on the end's Brittany. That's Dustin's girlfriend. Dustin's trying to turn Brittany into a deer farmer.
You gotta start them somewhere.
Life on the farm. I mean, when they get after that bottle, it doesn't take them long.
They can slug it down.
Just wondering, when was the last time you ever sat down and thought how lucky you are? How lucky you are to have been born an American. We were so blessed from our Creator that I think a lot of us take things for granted. I mean, look at the open spaces of our country and our natural resources that we're so blessed with to have in abundance. I think that we need to sit back and we need to appreciate what we've been blessed with, and we need to also protect it for future generations. You hear on the news all these people talking about being green people and the green movement. Well, I think that hunters and fishermen and true conservationists we're the green movement. We're the people that are putting our money where our mouth is. We're taking care of our planet, we're teaching people about the outdoors, and we're helping to protect these abundant spaces for generations to come. So the way I see it, next time you got some quiet time, sit down and think about how lucky you are to have been blessed and born right here in America, and make sure and do your part to protect the future of this great country. For more information on the American Deer and Wildlife Alliance, please join us online at deerwildlifealliance.org.
Stay right here and I'll go get them.
Okay. Oh my goodness. That looks like you're holding a science experiment in your hand. Look at that. Oh, looky here. No wonder you had to cut him off. Oh my gosh. What you're looking at there, folks, could be perhaps the biggest deer that has ever lived in Oklahoma, huh?
As far as I know.
Look at one antler, just one antler. How much did that weigh?
Both of them together was over 25 pounds before we pulled the velvet off.
Golly! Look at that. No wonder he had a hard time holding his head up, but you do have plenty of footage of him?
Yeah.
This is unreal, folks. And if you want to see Rampage in person, you can do so. Jerry, give them a telephone number if they want more information on how to contact you.
My cell phone's the best way to get a hold of me at 918-645-3139. And that's usually good 24/7.
It is hard to believe that a deer can grow a set of antlers like that. I mean, the deal is, when it comes to deer farming, it's a matter of stacking the right genetics on top of the right genetics.
Yeah.
And you compound it. I mean, and you get all of a sudden some stuff that is absolutely so unbelievable big. Like I said, Rampage, what I think could be the biggest deer ever living in Oklahoma. That's a stud.
We've been doing this 8 years, and it started off as a hobby, and it's turned into something that we enjoy doing, and it can make you a little bit of money along the way. You know, a lot of people have some property, and they're not really sure what they want to do with it. I went down to a friend's house that had some deer, and as soon as I saw what he had going on, I knew instantly that this is what I wanted to do. You know, I wanted this to be my hobby, and we took off from there, and it just keeps growing and growing. We have people interested in our genetics and calling. That's enjoyable to do that too, to have people seeking after your genetics. It doesn't take a real large piece of property to do this. I mean, I'm operating my farm here on 20 acres, and I've probably got 15 acres of it in fences, and I have 12 pens, and we've probably got about 80 deer. And we don't like keeping more than probably 12, 15 deer per pen. We don't want to overgraze them or overuse them, so we'll separate probably 15 deer per pen. But it doesn't take a large piece of property to raise deer. When I first started, I just wanted some deer, so I didn't worry about the genetics. And later on, I decided I wanted to start raising some top quality genetics that I could sell to people. And the genetics I had weren't what they needed to be, so I had to start over. So I think it's very important, what I'm trying to say, it's better to have 8 really good top-end animals versus 20 animals that aren't that good a quality as far as selling for genetics. So the genetics is better than the numbers. You know, and it's not just me doing this, but I think it's important to teach your children responsibility. This is the perfect situation here to teach them responsibilities. The girls, they bottle feed all of our fawns, and also, you know, with Dustin, he actually takes care of every bit. He fixes fence, and he does all the feeding and watching the deer, and he's got a lot of responsibility on him. It's not something he can just run out and dump feed in troughs, you know, and then in 30 minutes he's done. So it's a full-time job for him, I think it's very important that children have responsibilities. You know, you can't just do everything for them their whole life and then turn them out. So working on a deer farm, they get plenty of ways that they can exercise being responsible, their responsibilities. You know, we're always looking forward to visitors. Whether you want to buy a deer or not, you're always welcome to come out and visit and look at the deer. We'll show you what we got to make sure that deer farming is for you. You know, you need to see how much work is involved, but it's fun work. You know, it's good work. To me, it's relaxing. But don't just jump out and buy a deer immediately. Come on down. You know, I mean, we're always welcoming people in. If you want to just come and visit and look at deer, you don't have to make your decisions first time. And if I'm not here, if I'm out on the job working or something, Dustin's always out here working. He can take you and show you the deer just as same as I can.
That officially is the biggest deer. Well, it's the biggest rack of antlers I've held this year, I promise you. Right here out of Tulsa, Oklahoma. Jerry, thank you very much for having us.
Thanks for coming.
Dustin, thank you. It's been a pleasure coming out here and getting to know y'all and getting to see what the whole industry is talking about. So I've got, actually I'm heading up to Pennsylvania, some deer farms. They got some up there, but they got their work cut out for them if they're gonna grow something as big as Rampage. So y'all are doing the right thing, and I love to see big old deer. And thank y'all for watching. All right, fellas, I'm out of here. Take care.
All right, y'all be careful on the road.
Have a good one.
There's no doubt about it, Rampage really is everything everybody made him out to be. And if you'd like more information on Shelton Whitetails, you can contact Jerry by going to our website. I promise you, if you come take a look at Rampage, you won't forget him. We'll see you next week.
Before you make your next Polaris purchase, you owe it to yourself to check out the #1 Polaris dealer, Hoffpower Polaris. Log on to keithwarren.net for 24/7 access to more information, more video, and full episodes. Reproductive services for deer and wildlife stories provided by Dr. Ray Favero's Whitetail Genetics.